Today we're going to take a closer look at my favorite semiconductor company, Nvidia. More importantly, we're going to take a closer look at a recent report that showcases that Nvidia has made huge prepayments for some materials the company needs for its data center GPUs. More importantly, I do believe this kind of report showcases how Nvidia sees the overall demand for the AI market and AI accelerator, and I do believe this is a nice bullish trend for investors to follow. So let's take a closer look in today's episode.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so the report comes here from DigiTimes. We see that Nvidia reportedly gives SK Hynix and Micron significant advance payments to secure HBM supply. And HBM, for those that are not familiar, is high bandwidth memory. And right now, high bandwidth memory is used in a lot of AI accelerators, more specifically HBM3 and the upcoming HBM3E. So based on this report and industry sources, approximately SK Hynix and Micron have received roughly $540 million to $770 million each in advance payments for Nvidia for supply of advanced memory products. And this is for Nvidia to secure the supply of HBM3E for its new GPU products in 2024. So first, that's almost a one, if true, and if both got around that number, that's roughly over $1 billion easily on prepayments just on memory. And I know when we take a closer look at GPUs and AI accelerators, we do hear that the GPU market is supply constrained. And one of the main reasons this market is supply constrained is because of CoWoS packaging and something that TSMC provides in forms of advanced packaging, right? But there is another, maybe not as dramatic reason, is the need for HBM3. And now the more advanced version, HBM3E, is also probably going to have some supply chain issues. So Nvidia wants, it seems Nvidia wants to be ahead of the line here and making these prepayments to these memory companies. And I do believe these memory companies are pretty excited with these prepayments, because the memory market, while it does seem like it's turning around, it's still in the early turnaround stages. Now, I kind of want to take a closer look at some financial numbers that we heard in their most recent earnings. But before we go any further, guys, if you are enjoying the episode, make sure to hit the thumbs up, the subscribe button. I'm trying. I don't know if it's going to be possible to hit 30,000 by the end of the year. We got 2-3 days, 4 days. I'm not sure, but if we can do it, that would be awesome. The second thing, if you want a special offer, check out fool.com/Jose. So now back here into the Nvidia's. This is from their most recent Q3 earnings. The company did mention that they have roughly purchase commitments and obligations for inventory and manufacturing capacity was $17 billion, and prepaid supply agreements were roughly $3.7 billion. So we can see this company has made huge agreements in forms of manufacturing capacity. Obviously, that goes to TSMC and CoWoS capacity and other advanced packaging solutions, but we can also see a huge prepaid supply of inventory and other manufacturing needs. And I just want to kind of showcase this. So right now, this is Nvidia's most recent 10Q report, which was for their most recent earnings, Q3 of fiscal year of 2024. And we're going to take a closer look at future purchase commitments. And for fiscal year of 2024, which is what's happening right now, remember, Nvidia's about one calendar year when we look at their fiscal year, right? So 2024. So excluding the first 9 months of fiscal year 2024, because those have passed already, the company has roughly $6.5 billion in purchase obligations. Now, I just kind of want to showcase Q3 of last year, which was also excluding the first 9 months of that year, was only $4.2 billion. So we can see how huge change in this company making more obligations and purchase has shifted in just a year. The other thing we can see coming in for 2025, so the year that's about to start here for Nvidia, they already have roughly $12 billion in commitment. Now, if we take a closer look at a year ago when kind of this data center market started to happen, they only had roughly $3 billion for the next year already accounted for. So we can see this huge change that Nvidia is making, and I do believe this kind of showcases the overall demand the company is seeing in the data center market, where they already have almost $12 billion, and we don't know if these memory commitments that we just read about are already included here, but $12 billion already for next year, where same time last year, they only had about $3 billion. So I do believe that kind of showcases the overall strength of the data center market and how Nvidia sees it right now. Now, obviously, that can be seen as a bullish case for Nvidia stock, and a lot of investors might be super excited. On the risk side, and this is something that tends to happen a lot in the semiconductor market, is sometimes we might overestimate this market. I want to say maybe for AI it's different, but we all know the case. If you say it's different, it's never really different. But who knows? Maybe it's different for AI, and maybe we are not seeing that kind of oversupply into the market just yet. But we will have to wait till next year. But that's definitely a risk that, hey, Nvidia might be building too much for the demand. Luckily for Nvidia, they do mention that they have already kind of some of these agreements for purchasing, and they continue to see the huge demand for AI solutions and AI workloads. Now, kind of following suit here with these obligations, I want to take a closer look at Micron. The company just reported their quarter one earnings about December 20th, so a week or 2 weeks ago. And they did mention a few things. First, they did mention that in forms of HBM, Micron is in the final stages of qualifying their industry-leading HBM3 to be used in NVIDIA's next generation Grace Hopper 200 and the H200 platform. So we can already see that Micron is kind of pushing this way here in HBM memory. We also see that if we take a closer look at their capex plan, Micron's capex for the next fiscal year is expected to be roughly $7.5 to $8 billion, slightly higher than last year's levels and prior plans, primarily to support the HBM3 production ramp. So we can see we are kind of almost in the early stages from a player like Micron. I do believe SK Hynix has kind of already kind of lead in the HBM3 market, but we are seeing kind of more competition here from Micron. They do mention that they are on track of beginning their HBM3E volume production ramp in early calendar of 2024 and to generate several hundred millions of dollars of HBM revenue in fiscal 2024. And they expect that growth to continue in 2025. Just some kind of discussions. NVIDIA's H100, the current GPU that's leading the data center market, uses HBM3 memory. The other kind of products that use HBM3 right now are AMD's MI300. Intel's Gaudi 2 does not use HBM3. Intel's Gaudi 2 uses HBM2E, which is a prior generation. But there are reports that the upcoming version of Intel's Gaudi 3 will be using HBM3 or HBM3E. So we can see there is already kind of a competition fight for HBM3, and who knows, there's going to be a fight for HBM3E. Now, Nvidia, we did see in November 13th that their HGX H200 platform is going to be the first GPU to offer HBM3E, which is faster, larger memory to fuel the acceleration of generative AI. And they do mention that these solutions are also most likely going to come to the Grace Hopper 200 in the future. Yep, it's also available in NVIDIA's Grace Hopper 200 Superchip, which does have the HBM3 as well. Now, again, I do believe Nvidia's making some great moves, some big moves here with these prepayments, and this is always a risk to reward. The risk is, hey, is the market not really seeing that strong demand? Again, I do believe we are still in early innings of AI accelerations. Sure, it's going to be pockets of weakness, but in the long term, I do believe the AI demand is here to stay, at least for the next few quarters. Now, the reward there is if they are correct, then they are kind of grabbing all that inventory right now and will still remain the top player in this space. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I do believe this was a lot of great information for Nvidia shareholders. You guys know this is the best place you're going to find any Nvidia news, and I'm hoping you guys are liking the new tone of the videos. I don't know if you guys have noticed, I've been pulling back on maybe releasing too many videos, but I have tried to increase maybe the amount of information in each video. So if you guys have noticed that, let me know in the comments below. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.